Maligayang pagdating dito sa Maputing Cooking. I'm Chris Urbano. I'm an Australian chef who loves the food and culture here in the Philippines, and I really love sharing that passion with the world. So if it's your first time to watch the show, I'm going to teach you how to make Filipino food. You can check out lots of our recipes here on YouTube and at our blog, maputingcooking.com. Today I'm going to talk to you a bit about a really interesting influence in the Philippine diet. It's the most recent culinary period for the Philippines, in the 20th century when the Americans were administering the Philippines. And they brought with them a lot of, canned goods, soft drink, hamburger culture and all of this. And over time, Filipinos kind of, grabbed some parts of that, US diet and integrated them into Filipino cooking. And one of the places, the iconic places Filipino eat is on the side of the road. Around afternoon tea time, people are cooking lots of different snacks. So usually things on a stick, and you can put a lot of things on a stick in the Philippines, right? You can put quail eggs on a stick. You can have fish balls on a stick. You can have chicken balls on a stick, squid balls on a stick. Pretty much anything you can fry and then eat on a stick, Filipinos will eat it. And then they obviously have some sauces that go with that, because a lot of these things that are like a ball, right? There's some flavor there, may lasa dyan, di ba? But it's not that flavorsome on its own, right? A lot of this stuff comes straight from a box or a freezer and they're just deep fried on the street. So Filipinos need to come up with some sauces that would really complement those street foods. The sauce I'm going to show you today is actually fishball sauce, but it's often served with squid ball or with kwek, the Filipino battered quail eggs that are served on the street. And this one uses, Filipinos use the soda in a can to make this and for sweetness, right? Now you could probably just use regular water, sugar and lemon, right? But I think there is something novel about, getting the can of soft drink and using that in your cooking on the street, right? It's readily available, it's convenient. I think different fishball vendors have different brands that they prefer and everything, right? So we're going to show you how to make a classic fishball sauce today. We've got all the ingredients here, so let's get straight into it. My pan's already hot and I'm going to go straight in with my finely diced onion. You can use red or you can use, we're using brown onions today. Fish ball sauce is normally sort of a light brown color and quite consistent, so I'm going to be aiming for that. And you want it not too lumpy, right? I'm going to mince some garlic into this next. Okay, so I've just got my garlic and my onion cooking away in a small saucepan. And to that I'm going to add in a little bit of a regular can of lemon soda, lemonade. And I've got here some soy sauce, probably about a quarter cup of that. And that's what's going to give our fishball sauce the caramel color that you'd associate with it, as will this brown sugar. And the brown sugar will add to that caramel color as well. So I'll do about a tablespoon of brown sugar. Okay, now because we're using, there's quite a lot of liquid in my pan here, and what I want to do then is thicken this up a little bit so it's going to cling to the squid ball or the fish ball or whatever I like to dip in there later. So it's a little bit too runny right now. And we're just going to use some regular cornstarch to do that. You can tip it straight in and stir it a lot, or I usually like to just sieve it in if you've got a sieve handy, just so it's a little bit less lumpy. Now with your cornstarch, I normally just add about a spoon at a time until I get the right consistency. So that's still, too soupy, so we'll do a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm starting to get to the consistency I want for my my fish ball, which I don't know how to describe it exactly. It's kind of like almost like pancake batter, so runny enough that you can dip something into it, but sticky enough that it will cling to your squid ball or fish ball, whatever you're dipping in there. If you're finding it still a bit lumpy, you could use potentially a finer whisk to break down your lumps. You want it to be as smooth as possible, but you know, some small lumps of flour, that tends to be what I see when I'm down at the street food stand. The little lumps of garlic, onion, and little flour balls are in there as well. So, you know, don't be too precious about it. This is a street food snack, right? Wow, that's a very powerful flavor. I think most of you guys know I'm not a big sweets guy, right? So it's a little bit too sweet for me, I'm gonna say, to start with. So I will I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper first, because I like mine just to have a little bit of a pop to it. And I'm gonna put in maybe about half a teaspoon of salt. I'll give that a quick stir through, taste it again. Okay, and I think it's fishball time. So, you know, Filipino food, you've got the American influence, you've got the soft drink, the fast food culture coming in, and at about the same time, you have more, if you like, industrialized food types. So things like fishball and squid ball. Now, I'm gonna ask if anybody knows what is actually in fishball. Leave a comment below if you actually know the ingredients. I believe there is fish. That may or may not be true. I've heard that there's carton in there, like cardboard box, but for some reason it's really delicious and satisfying, but it's just nobody knows what's really in a fishball. So we have here, these ones on the stick is the fishball. The squid ball is normally bigger and whiter looking than fishball. This is the kikiam, which also uses squid, but sort of in a slightly different preparation. And then I have here some kwek, which is actually my personal favorite street food, which I get a lot, especially after I do like a boxing workout. Then I go and get my protein fix with my deep fried quail eggs here. So I'm gonna have a quick taste of each of these, and I'll let you know my thoughts on each as a foreigner dito sa Pilipinas, of what I think of the Philippine street food. All right. So let's start with, I brought my own stick. Let's start with the squid ball. Easy to get that here. That's already been covered in sauce. Look at that, just glistening, right? Oh wow, this is really sweet. I don't think I normally have sauce this sweet. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys and say, like, I don't love this kind of food, but it's funny how it kind of works. Like, you got this kind of seafoodish taste, right? It's not like fresh fish taste, but it's kind of seafoody. And then you have the, from the lemon soda we used earlier, you know, it's kind of like squeezing a fresh lemon over some seafood, right? It's strange, but it works. That's the fish ball. I think I like the squid ball better. I think there's more flavor there. I think there's actually some seafood in the squid ball. The fish ball, I really don't know. That could just be carton. The fish ball really needs the sauce, actually, so I'm glad we made it. I'm going to kikiam next. I think favorite ko to. There's a bit more going on with the kikiam. It tastes maybe a little bit more oily and greasy. Like, if this is like a grilled squid, this feels like deep fried squid. Maybe there's a bit of breading or more oil that's been soaked up by it. And I think with the Sprite, that kind of, or the lemon soda, that kind of works. And then my last one to try here is the kwek. So if anybody is wondering what is inside here, I don't know the reason why Filipinos make the batter orange, right? But if you're in the Philippines, you'll always see these orange balls on the street, and the small ones is a quail egg that's been basically battered and then, you know, put in a deep fry. So they're always orange colored for some reason. I think that's just to make it look a little bit more festive, and these are absolutely delicious. So we'll try that with the fishball sauce. Still my favorite is kwek. You can also do kwek. Normally on the street, I would have that actually with a spiced vinegar, which I find cuts through the batter a little bit more. Having it with the fishball sauce, I would say, makes it, you know, that batter almost go a bit more like a sweet batter, almost like a pancake batter. Whereas if you serve it with a vinegar, it tends to cut through and make it feel more like a savory snack. Whereas that was a little bit sweeter, but kwek is really my favorite. So, you know, we serve this all today in the traditional trays, the little plastic cups you get on the street, but increasingly this kind of street food is getting an appeal in some of the gastropubs here in Manila, where they'll serve it up like fine dining style. But you know, between you and me, I think it just tastes better on the street. So thanks for watching today. Try this one out at home. Really, really easy to make, the fishball sauce. You probably will find some of this at the Asian food store in the frozen section, so have a look if you can find some squid ball, kikiam, fishball out there, wherever you are in the world. But making the sauce is really easy, so try this out at home. And if you like Filipino food and cooking, don't forget to follow me at the blog, maputingcooking.com. You can join the newsletter there, follow us at Facebook, and of course, if you want me to cook your favorite recipe next, tell me what it is below, and look forward to making that for you soon. Okay, see you later mga kabano at kababayan ko sa buong mundo. Ako po si Chris Urbano. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.